Welcome to Rant Therapy.
Because sometimes you just need to get it off your chest so you can move on with your life.
It's a podcast short powered by the co-hosts of the Happy Eating Podcast.
Brierley, I know you have something we need to discuss today, but before we do that, real quick, I need to address one thing from our rant last week about Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good friend reach out, and she said, Chardonnay is the only type of wine I like, but I'm really picky.
Yeah.
Like, she knows, like,
Yeah.
you know, the brands, that's the brand, vineyards, that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
she drinks nice Chardonnay. And I was like, oh, Lee, we're not judging you. You're okay.
Yeah.
You can hang with us.
Yeah.
What we're referring to is the women who just go up to the bar and say Chardonnay.
Right. Yeah.
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 Just don't even know what it is. So,
And the fact that all of a sudden they're in our age group.
yes. Yes.
That's very disturbing to me.
So, but look, if you're one of those women who goes to the bar and just says, I'd like a glass of Chardonnay, what you can do, very easy solution, pretend like you're Lee and just say, can I see your wine list?
Mm-hmm.
And then look at it.
And then say, I'll have the
And
Chardonnay.
usually the first one listed is the house Chardonnay.
And sometimes there's only one option.
And then order it by its name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
So anyway, I
Class
just
it
want
up
to
a
give
little.
Lee a shout out. She gives us great feedback. And no, Lee, you are cool drinking your Chardonnay because you're picky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Brierley, what do you really need to talk about today?
I need to vent about my lack of boundaries.
Are we really going here?
Yeah, we are. Because it's become a real problem in my life.
Well, yeah. I thought that was just how you lived your life.
No, this week it sent me over the edge.
Okay, please do explain why all of a sudden it's become an issue.
Well, it became an issue because we had a medical emergency with our dog. And I somehow got roped in to participating in said medical emergency when neither the dog nor the children were my responsibility.
Okay, hold on. Let me give people some background. Brierley lives about a block from her ex-husband. 2 or 3 Christmases ago,
Yeah.
y'all decided to jointly give the kids a dog.
Let's not forget that you played a role in this too.
I played a huge role in it.
Okay.
And
But
I will
yes.
never forgive myself. Brierley was going through a really hard time, and I said, Brierley, this is how you save Christmas.
For the kids.
Get a puppy.
Get a puppy.
But the puppy I was talking about was not the one that you ended up getting.
That's correct.
Was not what I was recommending.
That's correct. Yeah.
Anyway, so they share joint custody. So when the girls go to your ex-husband's house, Hazel, the dog, does too.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So Hazel had a medical emergency.
At your
Andy's
ex-husband's house.
Yes, at my ex-husband's house. And so I was out with a friend and I got the call. I want to say I'm going to give myself a little props for some of my boundaries. I first ignored the call and then it was repeated. So
Which
then
is
I was
hard
like,
for you to do.
I better
I was
answer
proud of
now.
you for that.
Yeah. Anyway.
And I've kind of taught you that.
You have. You've
When
taught
you're
me
out
to just pause.
and it's your child calling,
Yeah, don't answer.
just see.
Just
if
pause,
it's
see what
important, they'll
happens.
text you or call you back.
Yeah.
Then you know.
So I got roped into going over to his house. And look, you know, the kids needed me. He needed some help, you know, all those things. But here's the thing.
So you were out.
I was out with a friend that I've not
and
caught up with in a
The
couple
dog ate
weeks.
chewing gum.
The dog ate 20 pieces of chewing gum, which is a lethal level of xylitol.
And he was freaking out. The dog was acting lethargic.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got roped into helping identify an emergency vet to go to, going and sitting with the kids, et cetera, et
because
cetera.
he couldn't look up an emergency vet on his own.
Correct. Yes. So the issue here is my boundaries. Because I said yes, and I left. I literally threw back the rest of my drink that we had just ordered. Immediately left, showed up to his house. He was gone, took care of the kids. And here's where my issue is that at the end of the evening, I still had to talk on the phone with the vet at the emergency vet because
ex-husband
couldn't convey to me what was going on medically with the dog because I guess he wasn't paying enough attention. I don't really know. So I had to do that. Then he finally comes home and I just get crapped all over for basically not doing enough.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how you put up with that because I couldn't deal with that.
I didn't.
I've never had that.
I didn't. And so I'm just saying this is a great example of like, I really need to work on my boundaries. And there are some other examples in other parts of my life that are not appropriate for the podcast where I need to say I need to work on some boundaries.
I don't know if this is where I would start with the boundaries. But I get it. You did do good, though. You didn't answer that first call. And that's a big step for you.
It is. It is.
What boundaries I think you're talking about are your ex-husband almost sees you, and I don't know if he realizes this or not, as his secretary.
Correct.
And so rather than do anything on his own, rather than look at the school calendar, rather than look up the emergency vet or Google it, rather than ask the child that's at your house what time her tutoring is, he texts you.
Correct.
And the boundaries that I'm trying to get you to set are not responding so quickly to those texts.
Yes.
Because he's a big boy.
And it has been building. This has been building because this is like probably the fourth or fifth time that something where I've been, treated like a secretary has happened in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just really...
We're going to have to cut the cord with him.
I just really lost it. I really lost it the other night. And I walked away from it and I was like, the only person I can blame right now is myself.
You know what? And I said this before to you. I really wish like there was some kind of setting on your phone where when a text from your ex-husband came in, it just came directly to me and I could answer it. Yeah. Or I could let it sit there for 3 or 4 hours and then answer it.
Yeah.
He needs to just learn you're not at his beck and call.
Correct. Yes. His favorite thing to do lately is to text me a whole bunch of questions at about 9-10 in the morning. Oh. It's like I've sat down. I'm just getting really into the groove. Like I've gone through Slack. I'm really getting into the groove of work. And all of a sudden it's like...
So just for people who don't know, her ex-husband does not work a conventional job. What's the proper term? I like to say sailor.
Yeah.
He races boats. And so he will go on stints in other countries for a week,
I won't hear from him for weeks.
That kind of thing. And so when he's home, he's just, texting you at 9 and
playing catch
really
up.
Gets off with me when he's at home and he can't like pick up the girls or take them somewhere. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Or not then. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. I hope he doesn't listen to this. Actually, it might be good for him.
But I know that I've had a boundary issue, but it has really come to a head this week.
When you start drawing those boundaries with him, it's going to feel good. It's hard because you are a super duper responder to text.
Yes, very much so.
You are almost like my children.
Yes. If I don't respond, it's not because I wasn't planning on responding. It's because it just got shoved so far down in my text messages that I've forgotten.
Right.
Which, speaking of, I definitely have some deep in the trenches from like about 3 weeks ago.
So why can't we do that with Andy's text?
I do it really well when he's gone on a trip. Because what's the point in responding to him in a timely fashion? He's not going to be home for 10 days.
But look, unless it's like the dog may die, like it was the other night, nothing he texts you is a crisis. And nothing is something that he couldn't find out himself if he did a little investigation.
Remember the time that we were getting ready to go out to dinner on a Friday night, and he texted me that he needed me to be available on my phone because he was transferring something to me, and I needed to be available for they were
going to send you a code
to the 2-factor verification.
And you just told him no.
And I told him no.
Yeah, and then
great. And then he responded very rudely to me.
Yeah,
it felt great until he responded very rudely, and I was like,
the more appropriate thing is just ignore that text ever came in. Yeah, and be like.
Again, boundaries.
On Saturday, the next day, be like, hey, so sorry I didn't see this.
Yeah. I was busy.
That's the boundary.
Yeah.
Okay. I can get behind these boundaries.
Yeah. Yep. Boundary issue.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed by the hosts of this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints of anyone anywhere else. This is meant for entertainment purposes only.